Hey folks, and welcome back here to Flexline Productions as we continue to bring you coverage of the 31st Annual City of Mobile Championships. We're with our lead card in the second round, and we are now over at Langan Municipal Park. And this coverage is going to be brought to you by Saraland Pharmacy. Big shout out to them for hooking us up. As I am Dustin Mouret, and once again joining me, local pro JC Rohe. How's it going, sir?
It's going great, man. Looking forward to some good golf.
Looking forward to some better weather, too, as we did have some rough conditions round one, but hoping things get a little bit better. As we got Ezra Robinson, who shot the hot round, 11 under par. He'll be leading this card. Clay Edwards rejoins us, and we add two new players in Zachary Nash and Kevin Kiefer III.
Yeah, I got to play with Ezra the first round. It was impressive to watch him shoot that 11 down in the rain. As we move into hole one, a change on the normal layout for Municipal. We're playing it as a par 3, 310 feet. The basket is over here to the left on this peninsula, OB surrounding the basket with the road.
First on the tee box from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Y'all give it up for Ezra Robinson.
Ezra Robinson representing Prodigy Disc, rated 10 of 39. Again, he shot that hot round 11 under par. He's ranked 15th in the P.D.G.A. World Rankings. Had a lot of top 5 finishes last year at elite or higher events. Definitely a very strong player. Was also 15th at Worlds. And that's a great shot.
Second on the tee box for our 1230 grouping. Y'all give it up all the way from Matthews, North Carolina. Clay Edwards.
And again, Clay Edwards representing Castaplast, rated 10-12. Shot the 9 under yesterday. Had a few top 25 finishes at some Silver Series events last year on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and looked really sharp in round one at the Admiral, so good to see him back here on the coverage. What did you think about this change, by the way, JC? I thought this actually made the hole a lot more interesting.
It definitely makes it more interesting. The only issue is you do have the road there, and so as Clay had to pause for a little bit to throw his shot.
Nice shot.
Has no issues with it.
All right, brings us to our third player for this
yeah, it
1230
definitely makes it
grouping. From Hico, Texas. Y'all give it up for Zachary Nash.
And that's just Zach Nash representing Innova. He shot 7 under at Admiral during round one to take third behind Ezra and Clay. He finished in the top 20 last year at the Mid-America Open on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and cashed a few other tour stops. He has 6 career MPO wins since 2022 and has really only just begun playing pro in the last couple of years, so kind of a newer face to the pro field.
It was a really smooth shot there, I would assume with possibly a rock or other slower speed.
And rounding out our 1230 grouping, all the way from Valrico, Florida, Kevin Kiefer III.
Kevin Kiefer, love this dude. Representing Latitude 64, rated 10-17. He's obviously coming off of a huge leg injury, which saw him miss a lot of the 2023 season at the end. But had some good finishes last year. 5th at the KC Wide Open, top 20 at the Zootown Open, Portland, the Preserve, and Champions Cup. So a strong player.
Yeah, we also saw him in coverage last year.
Yep.
He hit the sick ace on hole 9.
Right. And finished 6th last year at City Mobile Championships.
So all of our players have a chance to birdie here. Zach just a little timid on the putt there.
Get to Kiefer here. Great putt. So this is the round you really want to be scoring. I mean, Langan Municipal Park is a course where you really want to be hitting double digits under par. As we get to Ezra Robinson, who was actually just fresh of a 16th place finish at the Chess.com Invitational heading to this event and finished 7th at Waco right after. So he is, again, just a really strong player out on the tour. Cool to have him come through this tournament.
Yeah, and picking up right where he left off from day one, getting a birdie on hole 1.
Yeah, it's again, if you didn't catch the first round coverage, first off, what are you doing? Go watch it. But a lot of these guys were coming through from Chess.com Invitational in Florida on their way to the Texas swings. And this was a USCGC qualifier as well. So we did actually have a couple of bigger names stop through this year for this event, which is really cool. You see plenty of birdies here to kick off the first hole.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about having these not out-of-towners come in is you get to see how they play the courses that you normally play.
Right.
So we're moving in, we're skipping the typical hole 2. We're playing a hole as hole 2 for Muni, a par 3, 350 feet. Most players are probably gonna opt for a straight backhand, trying to avoid the water. Some players may throw the forehand, but I don't know if we'll see it here.
Ooh, this is scary. That might be water. Yep, I see the splash.
Yeah, unfortunately leaks out a little too far left.
Might still be able to save par from there, like with a longer putt. Looks like he made a good amount of progress forward, so might be pin high. Well, yeah, that is the risk you take with the backhand on this hole, is you can fade into the water. Looks like the wind is down though, so it's making the course probably play a little easier.
Yeah, and Clay just sneaking inside of that last tree.
Good job, thanks.
Yeah, you love playing this course not in the wind. It just gives you the opportunity to really shred it. But then it makes it feel like birdie or die golf, basically, for every competitor.
Definitely agree with that.
Different type of golf, different type of mindset. Great looking shot there from Kiefer. Now park that thing. Wow. Really well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, so no players here opting for the forehand, really taking the over the water shot out of play.
That's kind of surprising to me. Like, forehand's usually pretty popular on this hole, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. And oh, this looks scary.
Yeah, just a little misrelease there. Landing over there by Ezra in the water. Probably a similar look for both of them.
Man, gonna be some long par putts from that meter they get. Oh, I thought that was gonna hop in there for a second, but it will be a bogey for Zachary Nash. Ezra with a similar putt here. But he will find the center to save par. Really nice putt.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal putter, so we should see a few long looks from him this round, I would imagine.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a guy who's going to score well here for sure.
Clay and Kevin looking to clean up easy birdies on this little more difficult par 3 out here.
You love to see that when you don't even have to putt. That's the best. Just a little drop in. See you later.
Unfortunately, Zach will take the first blemish on the card. So move into hole 3, a shorter par 3 at only 221 feet. Players can opt for this middle route or throw a slight hyzer over the bush. There is the occasional lefty hyzer or forehand hyzer, but path less traveled typically.
Yeah, and this hole is really also just more about distance control. You do have that water that sneaks in pretty quick on the backside of the green, so you got to make sure that you do not power it too much or get too much ground action to get into that water.
Clay probably throwing a bird there, just able to get that to slide up.
And we promise that's not because that's the only Casoplast mold that we know. It's just for this hole, it actually is a perfect hole for us, just like the bird. With some kind of pure other putter in hand here for Kiefer.
Keeping it low enough that the skip won't go too far, hopefully. And yeah,
he's
he
fine.
stays in.
Be okay. You'll be okay.
That's the scary thing, though, is you can't tell from the tee. Like, you're kind of just hoping that you slow down.
This is probably a P model US from Ezra, if I had to imagine. Leaks a little left, but stays up.
So far, everyone on the board for a chance at birdie. We'll see if Zachary can match. Playing that higher hyzer over the bushes. And that is well done.
Yeah, great job.
Way to correct from the previous hole.
It's a stress-free birdie for him. Could have a star frame here, as that was the longest putt, and Ezra was able to cash on it.
Oh no. Just a little difficult uphill. we got the, I don't know if you can hear it on coverage, but we have one of the largest tennis center in Alabama right next to this course, and they were having a tournament as well. A lot of commotion going on.
Yeah, it's not like your polite golf clap tennis. It's like now we're screaming and hollering tennis.
Yeah, it's either high school or college. It's gotta be.
it's hype tennis.
The rest of these guys are gonna tap in their birdie. And
just hear the yell in the background. This coverage is brought to you by Saraland Pharmacy, one of the biggest disc golf stores in southern Alabama. They have a wide variety of new and used equipment, so they can definitely take care of all of your disc golf needs. Be sure to check them out.
All right, we're moving into another par 3, 253 feet. OB right next to the basket as well. This plays more as a soft hyzer into the green instead of a straight shot. You're really just trying to keep the distance down, similar to hole 3, but you got to get it to get left.
Yeah, I mean, I actually personally like just getting as left as I can on this hole because as long as you get enough forward push, you're kind of guaranteed the par, even if you go in the water. Whereas if you don't go left enough, you give yourself a death putt for birdie, and if you miss it, you might bogey, or you're laying up anyway for a 3. So it kind of depends on your strategy, how you want to play it. Hopefully that made sense and was not just word salad, but...
No, that makes sense.
Get left is the key.
And unfortunately catches one of those guardian trees, and he'll have that death putt look you were mentioning.
Yeah, could lay it up this early in the round, and with it being the second round of a 3-round tournament as well. Harp in hand probably here for Kevin Kiefer.
Right, definitely needs to keep this one low. Does a pretty good job at that. Skips a little forward, less left than he probably wanted. And you can see here that challenging putt you were talking about.
Gonna catch basket, but settles down, so he'll be able to get the par.
Yeah, that's definitely your typical miss you see on this. A downhill putt, not trying to putt over the top of it, you end up hitting the cage. Kevin here, his putt will typically fade away from the OB, so a little more want to go for it, but low again.
Yeah, back-to-back, just low misses. On target, but just a little bit too low of a release. Hopefully he can make the correction. Slight death putt here for Zachary Nash, putting towards the water. Not phased, though. Puts it in there, really nicely done.
Really just getting settled in. He missed his first 2 putts and had a tap in on the 3rd, so Ezra coming out hot.
No surprise there. One of the best players out there right now, honestly. So we are going to see Clay tap it in, and we will move on to hole number 5.
Hole 5 is in the long position from your typical Muni layout, 360 feet. Following a similar trend here with the OB really close to the basket. You're trying to, it's basically a longer hole 4. You're trying to get as left as possible to give yourself a shorter putt.
Yeah, usually you're using the wider hyzer as a distance control tool.
And Ezra just getting inside of this pine tree, hopefully. Yes, that's the play right there. Just needs to scoot left.
And he skips up there nicely, and we'll have a putt. But as you said, the OB is close, and there is a risk of rollaway, so we have to be careful with the putt. This is definitely another one of those holes where if you catch a tree early or come up a little bit short, you're likely laying up for the par. Well done.
That tree, the one lone tree on the green right in the way, might make the putt a little difficult, but still a look.
It looked like he just kind of went all air with something a little slower. And got plenty of distance though. Similar line to Ezra here from Clay. It comes a little bit shorter though.
Just a little bit.
And he has a choice to make, and that's likely going to be a layup for par. This is probably either a Pioneer or a Ride from Kiefer.
A little wide. Hoping for a big skip. And that would be just outside the circle, so decision to make for him as well.
Yep. I feel like that's kind of a common landing zone. You don't want to blast it too hard and just go OBD right off the tee. Kind of hoping to just trickle down to the green.
Giving it slight bid. Not sure if that stayed up or not. The OB is lined with a string, so pretty defined there.
Here's Kiefer just outside the circle. He's had a couple of putts missed just a touch low. Now he's got another scary death putt ahead of him here. So needs to make the correction. Nicely done. Great adjustments. Finds the birdie. Here's Ezra for birdie. And count it.
4 for 5 to start out.
Yeah, he is on a heater, trying to maintain a good pace. Definitely one of the favorites out here to take the win outside of M.A.D.G.A.
I believe he's the second highest rated player in the field.
Yeah, I believe he's 1039 and Matt was like 1044, 1043-ish, somewhere in there. So yeah. Also just recent results outside of rating would really put Ezra up there on your list. Definitely been plugging away at the tour nicely lately. Great putt there from Zachary Nash.
Yeah, there seemed to be no hesitation from him on that putt.
So we're going to see a meter taken here from Clay.
I believe he was in bounds. I think that's what they were discussing.
Yep.
But just getting his relief off the out of bounds, as you mentioned.
And he will save the par. So no harm, no foul.
Brings us into hole 6, first par 4 of the round. A short one at 524 feet, but the low ceiling makes it really difficult to attack this green off the tee. OB left and right can come into play if an errant shot comes about.
Yeah. You can sometimes see players go roller here to try to attack the green for eagle. But otherwise, it is just kind of a standard straight shot and just get your easy birdie.
Or you can
just mash. Holy cow, okay. Yep, that's Ezra Robinson. Just all air to the green for eagle, no problem. We saw Parker Welk last year actually smash a forehand all the way up to the green. So it can be done if you got the power for it, but that low ceiling just makes it a lot harder to pull off.
That's a decent little masher beforehand there.
Oh, absolutely.
Gets around the last bush.
He's up there too. Jesus. As that white stake is the short tee, and that's about 340 feet from the tee, just to kind of give you a reference on distance. So they are pushing well past 400 feet and getting where they're getting. Ezra was close to 500, honestly, with his tee shot.
Just a little shorter, ends up in some of the only obstacles you can get on the fairway.
Yeah, looks like he got just past that 340-foot pin, but like you said, kind of stuck in those bushes there on the right-hand side, so he might have a trickier approach shot. I wanted a roller, dang it. Come on. Let's see it.
Could possibly be, but this...
Yes.
He needs this to cut left. It doesn't quite cut fast enough.
Oh.
Gets that last bush.
Oh, man. That was looking really good, too. He's still probably able to get up and down from birdie for there.
Yeah.
As we get to Kiefer, who has to straddle out, but definitely still has a chance to get up and down for birdie from here.
Has to go across his body here.
Yeah, definitely tricky, no doubt about that. But he's probably only got about like 150 feet to go, 160 feet.
Yeah, see, that's the issue with it. It hangs it out a little wide, but it fights it back in a good bit.
That's in the circle. This one a little bit more difficult. He's a bush ahead.
Yeah.
Probably has maybe 120 or 100 feet to go.
Sit.
Not bad.
Good effort there.
Thanks.
Probably wanted a little more turn, but in the circle as well.
Here we're just outside circle 2, it looks like, for Zachary Nash. Stepper for eagle. Oh, almost finds it, but easy bird.
The cage.
I can't believe Ezra got here in the air. And he gets the eagle.
He didn't like it out of his hand, but it went in.
Perfect round back on the board now.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't see too many all-air eagles on this hole. Usually if there's an eagle to be had, it's off of a roller. Nicely done there for Kiefer to grab the birdie. Looks like we might see a superstar frame. Or a Nova frame. I don't know. What do we think? Eagle and 3 birdies.
I'm speechless on it. I don't.
Supernova frame, Galaxy frame.
I've heard Galaxy frame, I believe.
Yeah. I think that was a Coling term. This coverage is brought to you by Saraland Pharmacy, one of the biggest disc golf stores in southern Alabama. They have a wide variety of new and used equipment, so they can definitely take care of all of your disc golf needs. Be sure to check them out.
All right, back to hole 7, par 3, 284 feet. Not much in the fairway to contend with. You do have this one bush that kind of guards the green. If you're a forehand dominant player, the Magnolia may come into play, but I don't think we'll see that with this card.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple backhand righty hyzer hole. Or
Straight at it.
just straight at it left side, okay. Again, it's always interesting to see how people not from around here approach these holes, because I feel like every local just plays the wide right hyzer.
Right, and maybe Ezra just didn't want that bush to even come into play at all.
That's true. Looks like we're going to see the same play from Zachary Nash up the middle, just based on how he's lining up.
Another thing with this, most players probably throw that hyzer out because there was a tree back in the day that you can see the stump in the bottom right of your screen right there, but there was another pine tree that blocked that route, so that could be why. Kevin looks like he's lining up a hyzer here.
Yeah, and really the only thing that can go wrong with this spike hyzer is if you somehow just get obstructed by that bush to the right side of the pin, but usually you still have some kind of putt.
Hopefully just scooting right before it.
Yep. Ooh, kind of flashing the basket there almost. But that is your typical play on this hole.
Right.
Something fast and overstable and on spike hyzer, which we may see also take place here from Clay.
Probably a bird.
I'm going to go with stall. I'm going to guess stall. Overstable 9 speed from Castoplas, but I actually have no clue. But I think I have a better chance of being right than you.
Whatever it was a pretty nice shot to give him a look there.
Clay, if you're watching this, we tried. We really did.
Comment down below what you threw.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The rest of these guys look like they'll have simple birdies if this is our third closest.
Yeah. As again, lots of scoring to be had out here at Muni at the pro level. Not too much trouble to get into. As it is going to be indeed another star frame here. As we head over to hole 8, another kind of softer par 4.
Yeah, downhill 646 feet. As the drone shows you the overview here, you've got this wall of pine trees right in the middle that you really just have to pick a gap and blast one. I mean, this is an open hole for all intents and purposes, and plus the players come out and rip one, as Ezra does so right here, going more flex route.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right.
You see a lot of big turnovers left side like this, and that's totally fine, but you can also take any of the routes more center or right, just flat.
Nobody cares.
I mean, most of these players are going to shoot well past 400 feet, no problem off the tee, and then just have a pretty routine upshot for birdie. I have occasionally seen people get aggressive with the roller here to try to go for eagle, but it's a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah, Zach looked like he was lining it up there.
There's
for
just
a
so
second.
many like little roots and pine cones and stuff that you could just get unlucky and catch. But it looks like he's still going to go for it. I mean, the thing is, even if you get it wrong, you're probably still going to have an upshot for birdie.
Right. She needs to get off of that. And unfortunately, catches the base of that tree, but keeps going.
Yeah, it's still sending it. And I mean, he's still going to have a less than 200-foot upshot for birdie. So.
Right. And it's what, about 520 to the second set of trees down there?
Yeah. If you get past like this wall of pines, you're probably right near 400 feet.
Lucky.
So that's a nice like 450 plus shot there. This does play a little bit downhill, so it makes it a little easier. Even I can get 400 feet every now and then on this hole.
With the right wind.
With the right wind, right angle, perfect shot.
Clay may be throwing roller here as well.
Might be, yeah. Yep.
And it looks like he's going in that group of pine cones in the middle.
Oh, I see it. I see that. Yeah, that's good.
Still fine.
I know. You throw that disc in leaves, it's like.
That's the thing, like, the roller cuts over right and just puts you in a wide open look at the basket. Nothing obstructing. And if this is our worst approach shot, I think we have another star frame probably in store. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, these should be routine up and downs for these guys.
Yep. It's definitely like kind of one of those tweener holes where no one's really getting, there for a 2, but the 3 is, for pros, very easy to grasp.
I know it was discussed to elevate this basket to give it a little more teeth.
Yep, I think that is a game plan for the future that we're looking at.
Yeah, 2 shots to the basket and then make your putt more difficult.
Yep. That is something we're discussing at the Mobile Area Disc Golf Association to try to do soon for the future.
Ezra had a almost pin high there.
Oh my God. Just almost eagled again. Like, what is going on? Good luck catching this guy, by the way. Just on a heater.
As I mentioned before, I played with him in round 1, and he had a couple of 100-plus foot putts, essentially. It was insane.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Of course, his brother Isaac has made some big ways winning majors and whatnot, but Ezra is right there with him.
Yeah, no slouch.
They're the best brother combo in disc golf by far, I would imagine.
All right, and wrapping up our front 9 will be hole 9, par 3, 396 feet, infamous for Kevin Kiefer's ace last year.
Yep.
All these players are probably just going to throw a big hyzer straight at that light pole, either finishing before or after it, and just spiking into the green.
Yep. As this probably plays a little over 400 feet just because you have to take this wide hyzer line to access the basket, but still everyone on this card's got the power to get there.
Ezra just a little wider than he wanted, I would imagine.
Yeah, Camp a little bit shorter than he probably wanted to, it looked like.
You do have the parking lot OB right, and so that can come into play with a lot of these shots.
Yeah, there also is a OB cement ditch to the left, but that usually doesn't come into play. And that's about how you draw it up.
Zach with the perfect distance there, very smooth.
You know what they say? What? Why sir, it's luck, right? I mean,
He's not even using the same disc. I'm upset. He aced this hole, I believe, with the Bio Defender. It was like a yellow disc, if I remember correctly. So this is a different disc.
Oh, this guy goes so hard left.
Catches power line.
Still gets up there.
Yeah, gets it to come back in.
It should be okay. That'll work. They get some bounce. Dang it. Oops. Slip.
You got to use the same disc as last time, Kiefer. I'm telling you, that's what the problem was. Maybe it got 2B then by now.
I was about to say, if you said Biofusion.
Yeah, Biofusion definitely could be 2 season by now. Not sure what disc it is, but it had the Huck Lab stamp on it, so you know it's good. It's going to get up there nicely.
Very, very good shot there from Clay.
Yeah, definitely some good birdie looks here, though Kiefer's got a little meat on the bone on his.
Yeah, he's had a couple longer looks go in, a couple not, so kind of up for grabs here.
And he gets it. And so another star frame perhaps in the cards for our lead card.
Yeah, you'd imagine the way Ezra's putting now, this should be almost automatic, but
Feels that way, doesn't it? As he is 9 down through 9. Thanks to the eagle that he acquired on hole 6 after a par on hole 2. So, doing work.
Pretty solid start there.
Yeah, he's doing everything you could possibly want to do. I mean, he's just killing it. As everyone else will tap in their birdies as well, leaving Clay 4 strokes behind the lead. Zach and Kevin Kiefer 1 more behind that. That's going to wrap up our front 9 here during our second round at Langan Municipal Park. Appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe here at Flexline Productions so you can catch the rest of our second round, as the back 9 should be coming up quick. Then our final round, the Admiral, will shortly follow that. As we take a last look at the scorecard, there you can see it. Ezra with the eagle on hole 6. Perfect front 9 because of that. Not too far behind was Clay Edwards, and really everyone's out there shooting well. So I'm Dustin Mouret. With me is JC Rowe. We'll catch you on the back 9 here shortly to see our lead card finish things off at Langan.